My friend, in the last session, we already learned about how to use the as value and the clear value with WebdriverIO. In this lesson, we are going to learn about how to get a text field value here. So why do we need to do that? So let me manually add some text here first, A, B, C, for example, and you can see here, the ABC is now displayed. So our purpose that we need to get the value here and try to verify it later in our application. That's what we have just input here is will be displayed here correctly. So in that case, we need to use another API from WebdriverIO. That's the get value. So let's see how it works. First thing first, you need to create another test script. That means right click on the API folder, new, and choose the JavaScript file here with the name, the same name with the API get value. And we are going to create a text with more class, so just try to use the correct keywords. And running WebdriverIO API. And in this case, we are going to run the run the get value API. So if you go back to the WebdriverIO documentation and then you click on the API docs, try to search here the get value, or you can just try to find from the web that's the get value here. And you can see the usage instruction is very simple, that you supply a parameter, select your value as a string, and then you call the API gets value. That's it. Okay. So let's try to create a simple test case here. The first step, the zero step that we need to click on login icon from screen, home screen. Okay. Then from the first step, we need to click on, not to click on the login icons. In this case, we are not going to click on the login field, but we need to log in on the form here, not log in here, but on the form. So we will click on the form icon from the screen, and then we try to input some value in text field. And the latest step that we need to get the value from the field here. This is the field. You have a type. From the field you have type, and we will print out that value. So right now you don't need to verify at any verification methods yet. You need to print out, and in the continuous lesson we will learn how to add some assertion method. That means we will verify the text display on the application. So first thing, we need to click on the form field here, the forms. So from the previous test case, you can see when we click on the login icon, we specify the login. So we can guess that it will be the same thing. If we want to click on the forms, we will specify a selector as accessibility ID forms here. But to make sure, you just open the Appium desktop and try to inspect the element on the target app. So just open the app on the correct device like you did before. Here we are, and click on the form. You can see the content description. Again, that's the forms, right? But to make sure, we are going to try to sort that element by using accessibility ID and with the value forms. Try to click, and this is the only one uh, file element. That means the selector values is now correct, right? And we can use in our test script right now. So let's specify some selector value on the top here. Let's declare a constant like the font icon on the home screen equal, and we specify the title size and the value from. And the second thing that is about the text field where we need to let me manually click on the form on device and then refresh the source. Here we need to input some text in the input field here with the accessibility ID text input. So just copy that value. So the second select your value, that's the input field, because that input field have no specific name, so just put the input text field equal and the title size, and you copy and paste the value. And the last one, that's the about the input text display. That's either the field that will display the text that you have just input on the screen. So in this case, it will be input that result as accessibility ID. So just copy and then you specify it here. Now, at the first step, we need to click on the form icon here. So we specify the $sign and then we supply the parameter form icons on screen and then use the API click. The second step that we need to try to input some value in the text field that you already knew. We have the set value API, right? So we specify the input text and then we call the set value. So in this case, I will set ABC, for example, and then I will get the value from the field you have typed. But after that, I need to print out that value. So what I'm going to do that I will declare a variable and keep that value, then I can print out later. So it should be the display text equal, and we use the API get value input text display, and then we use the API get value. Okay, simple. And then we print out by using the console log, and we print the value displayed text. Okay, so let's try to run this. So before running, you need to specify this test case in your test configuration. So as you did before, just try to simply replace this test case in the space. And in this case, we want to run get value, right? And we already have the Appium server running here. So we don't need to manually start the Appium server. So just run the test configuration file by specify a command npm command run a test with the option run, and we point out the location of test configuration file. Enter. Okay, let's check the result. I see. It's not yet value. It should be getStat. Sorry about that. GetValue is something different. For example, if you input something on the field, this field. Sorry, let me open the app again. If you input something here, ABC, and you want to get the value that in the same field here, the input field, you will use the get value. But in this case, you want to get the display here. So that means it's not an input field. You will get you the API get stat, not get value. So that's why we got this kind of error. Okay. So we use the get stat, enter, and we run it again. Here you can see here the ABC is now printed out, but we need to have something specific so we can recognize that's exactly the thing we want to bring out. So let's say we specify something like the input text here. Up. And we run again. Here we are. You see the input stat is ABC. So to get a value, the attached value on the screen, you use the API get stat, not get value. Get value is another thing that you want to get the value from the input field. And when you use the get stat, you will get a static stat on the screen. Different. So let me try to refactor the name. So just rename to get test, not get value. And I will commit the latest code here. This should be the lesson 9. And we put the latest code. So in case you want to look at the code that we already presented in this lesson, you just open the latest code here and you can refer later. Okay. So see you in the next lesson.